So there were a lot of YouTube reviews about the different Tundra models that I tried to watch before I went to the dealership and made my decision. Ultimately, I had to go with the TRD Pro over the Platinum and some of the other models, even though they had custom trim packages and there was, you know, upgraded like TRD off-road SR5 packages that some of the dealerships had put wheels and tires and done a lift to and all that stuff. At the end of the day though, once you see the TRD Pro with Nitto grapplers, blacked out wheels in the Voodoo Blue, there's just no other comparison. But for some reason, I was kind of in, you know, a little bit of a trance when I was doing the test drive and trying to evaluate these things. And it wasn't until I actually took the TRD Pro home that I realized there are several creature comforts that I really miss. Now, the title might be a little bit strong. To say that these are the three top features that I hate, I would say that it's my 3 top dislikes of the TRD Pro Tundra in the 2019 version. Now, I came from a 4Runner Limited, and it was older. And it's pretty ridiculous that an older 4Runner has better technology and better creature comforts than a 2019 top-of-the-line, most expensive Tundra that you can buy. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and I'm gonna show you a couple of my gripes. The first thing is, I really don't like that the back window is not auto. So that's pretty crazy to me. The Tundra that I had, I'm sorry, the 4Runner was a 2006. Mind you, this is a 2019. 13 years. And they can't put a damn auto switch for the rear window. Now this is really useful because if it starts raining, now obviously I've had a lot of experience with this. I love 4Runners, it's my favorite vehicle on the planet. The only reason that I switched from a 4Runner to a Tundra is because, number one, the 4Runner just can't tow enough, right? So I've got projects that are upcoming, I need to tow multiple machines and things like that, and the 4Runner just can't do it. But it's so crazy to me that a 13-year-old truck has creature comforts and technology, and that's the other thing. These are not really, this is not technology. You know, auto down, but not auto up. And my cousin, you know, my cousin's Prius has this. The new 4Runners have this. This is crazy. I can't believe that it doesn't have auto up. That just blows my mind. But the rear is the biggest deal because in the past, if it was raining or something like that, you couldn't get the garage open, or you had, you know, you were just caught in a pinch, you could just hit the auto up on the rear window. You could easily grab these, the rest of them, with your hand. And if you had, you know, stuff that you didn't want to get wet or whatever, if you're on the highway going to the beach, or, you know, all kinds of stuff. You used to have, you know, towels that would blow out the back if you had the rear window down and you just didn't catch it. You could easily just hit the auto up and then reach for the towel, and it wasn't that big of a deal, right? So that's a huge gripe of mine. I don't know why it bothers me so much. I didn't really notice it when I was test driving them because I wasn't really playing with the windows and stuff. And I also, if you're a new Toyota owner and you hadn't owned a 4Runner that had it, you might not even notice it. But I was so used to it, it's just crazy. The other thing is, this is a flagship truck, right? And there's not dual zone climate control. You can't just set your temperature. Now the knobs really aren't that big of a deal, but in a cabin like this, in Florida, in the Florida heat, it can take a little while to cool things off and to get used to the controls and be able to set the temperature where you like it and all that kind of stuff. And it's just crazy to me that a 13-year-old truck, my 2006 Toyota 4Runner Limited, which I still own, has dual climate control. You can just set your temperature, you know, so on and so forth. Now, I get it. They claim that the TRD Pro is mostly off-road focused and blah, 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 which it is. But at the same time, you would expect on the most expensive model that they sell, you would at least have these things that come standard on a limited model that's 13 years. I don't know, it just kills me. It just absolutely kills me. Now, obviously there are the main things that you see in all the other videos, like it doesn't have Apple CarPlay or Android. So that's kind of a bummer. The Intune is okay. It plays Pandora and stuff through the Bluetooth just fine, but you cannot stream. Like, I rented a car in Maine over the wintertime and it had Apple CarPlay. And the way you can stream the GPS just makes things so much easier. There's no reason to have GPS built into the vehicles anymore. You just use what's on your phone and you use Apple CarPlay and stream it right on the screen. And it's just a lot safer when you go to take calls or you see text messages and it transcribes them. And so one of the other things that I noticed, which is kind of good because I've always liked it, but The controls for cruise control and other things are exactly like the grandfather's 2014, I think, Toyota Tacoma. The cruise control and some of the other controls are exactly the same as my 13-year-old 4Runner. So kudos to them. I like the way that stuff works. If it ain't fixed, don't broke it. That's the Toyota model. I know these trucks are outdated and they're desperately in need of a refresh, especially on the interior, especially technology-wise. There's just a few things that really irk me. The other thing that irks me is that my 2006 4Runner had heated seats. It also had a passenger power seat. This is mechanical only. So yeah, the leather and stuff and the TRD embroidery and all that jazz is nice, but it's not like this is some new advent that you know, I don't know. Yes, it's an off-road truck. Yes, we've got Fox suspension. Yes, everything's ready to go to Maine for from the factory. No lift kit, no nothing else needed. But at the same time, you know, not having even this is stupid stuff, right? So the one USB port is pretty crazy, and I don't even think that it fully charges the phone. So you got to have a cord and a cable to hook up a phone charger. This is okay. The console area is all right. I don't know that I would ever, you know, lay this out in this manner. As some of the other YouTube reviews said before I bought this truck, this stuff is not rubber, it's plastic. So things do, like, you just set stuff here and it does slide all over the place, right? So it's not grippy. It would make it a lot more useful if it was grippy. The console is huge, but I'm gonna make a separate video about that. It was basically unusable until I found this really cool insert. So go ahead and make sure you subscribe to the channel to see the rest of the update videos. Like this video if you want to see more Tundra videos, and let me know in the comment section down below which Tundra videos I should make next. What do you want to know about the TRD Pro? It's raining today, so the outside's not clean. The idea was to come out and shoot some drone shots so you could really see the voodoo blue, and but it's wet now. The car is all spotted up. So I did get a ceramic coating put on from the dealership. We'll see how that works. But obviously, if I'm gonna make videos about the outside, and I really like the voodoo blue, I want it to look pristine, right? So we'll wait for another day to do that. I've tried out the 4-wheel drive just a little bit. It seems to work okay. I don't have any reservations about that. As a general rule, Toyota, you know, as everyone complains, and as much as people complain about them being antiquated, one thing you don't have to worry about is reliability, 4-wheel drive system malfunctions. Oh, there's one other thing. There's one other thing I would say that is in line with, if you had a complaint about this truck, if you had a complaint about saying that Toyota really needs to step their game up as far as in the off-road package, it would be this. So there is no there's no crawl control mounted up here. There are no additional 4-wheel drive settings here. You do have the trailer brake controller here. You've got tow haul, you've got the traction, and you can adjust the gain and stuff. I read all about that. However, one of the things that a TRD off-road or a TRD Pro 4Runner has, and I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I believe the Tacoma has it too, is the diff lock. So how the hell this can be a $55,000 flagship truck that's more expensive than every other model that Toyota sells and they can't put the diff lock in it, especially on a TRD Pro model that has the Fox shocks and everything else. I just don't understand. That drives me totally nuts. You know, I've been able to get over the creature comforts that come standard on a Tundra Platinum. Like, the other thing about this truck is that it does not have memory seats. So if you have more than one person driving it, or if you just want to create more space for yourself to get in and out, you know, you can have the steering wheel go down. I drove it, so it makes a huge difference. When you open the door, the steering wheel collapses, the seat goes back, it makes it easier to get in and out, especially if you're carrying stuff, right? And then you've got your memory buttons. So this doesn't have any of that. My 2006 4Runner has that. That's another thing. You would think that I would absolutely hate the truck by now because, you know, it's not that I'm bashing it, it's just, once you have these things, they're nice to have. And when you spend all this money on supposedly a flagship model, it's kind of frustrating that that stuff doesn't come standard, right? Like the actuator in the tailgate. Ford has it, Chevy has it, Dodge has, you know, the big three all have this kind of stuff. If you get in the back of a big three, right, there's so much gadgetry, right? There are multiple USB ports, there's multiple places to charge, there's AC controls back here. You know, the other thing that drove me crazy is the way that they designed this, but I'm gonna save that for a different video. Apparently there's a mod that you can do to make the back seat fold down like it should, but it's like, this stuff should come standard. I'll leave you with this though, because the Voodoo Blue is absolutely incredible. This is why I bought the truck, because of what it looks like. Not because it doesn't have a couple of things. I also bought it because it won't break. Take it to Maine. We can haul, tow, do everything that we need to do with it. Won't have to worry about reliability. And the blue is just absolutely sick. When you stick it next to a white Platinum or a black Platinum, even it has the upgraded wheels and the pinstriping and all that stuff, it just doesn't compare to the Voodoo Blue. But that would have to be my top gripes. If you are expecting this to be a premium luxury package, it's not gonna happen.